Hi guys, welcome back to TV Spoilers. Today I'm going to review to you how the trial in the next 2 weeks could erupt in dramatic controversy. Mariah could face the maximum penalty for the scandals she intentionally caused. Tessa Porter testifies against Mariah. Although Sharon still hopes they will reconcile, Tessa Porter, who was heartbroken when Mariah pushed her away and filed for divorce, has been called to testify. During the trial, Tessa will be forced to recount in detail Mariah's erratic behavior and her feelings of hurt, which will deal a significant blow to Mariah's defense and could affect the outcome of the case. Sharon never imagined she would one day have to watch her daughter's life being dragged into the cold light of a courtroom, where every private wound could be called evidence, every panic attack could be interpreted as guilt, and every love that once provided support could suddenly become something capable of pushing people deeper into despair. For Sharon, the greatest pain wasn't just that Mariah was facing a kidnapping case involving Dominic, but that every loved one around her was now being forced to choose between truth, responsibility, and compassion. Sharon still clung to the hope that everything hadn't completely fallen apart, that there was still a way out for her daughter, but as the trial day drew closer, she understood that hope was no longer something gentle. It became a painful, almost desperate obsession, because she knew the court didn't operate on maternal love, much less on the memory of a Mariah who was once weak, hurt, and pushed to the brink by her past and lingering traumas. There, people only looked at the consequences, at the actions, at the fear that a child and those around her had experienced. Therefore, even while praying for a miracle, Sharon had to prepare herself to face the cruelest reality. There are times when a mother understands her child's pain, yet cannot prevent the world from punishing her. Tessa's appearance as a key witness was a blow that made everything even heavier. If anyone had ever been a place Mariah could return to after her emotional storms, it was Tessa. If anyone had ever understood Mariah's dark sides, her brokenness, and her silent struggles against them, it was also Tessa. But precisely because they were so close, her testimony carried a weight that no outsider could replace. Tessa didn't come to court as someone wanting to destroy Mariah, and that made the situation even more painful. She came as someone so deeply hurt that she could no longer hide her feelings of abandonment, of being pushed away, of being forced to stand outside the door of the person she once believed she would spend her whole life with. Mariah's cold closing of the marriage with a divorce not only shattered Tessa, but also transformed her personal pain into something that could be used legally to portray a woman who was losing control. When summoned, Tessa had almost no way out. She had to recount the signs of instability, the changes in behavior, the moments when love was no longer enough to mask her feelings of insecurity. Every detail Tessa was forced to mention not only weakened the defenses Sharon and Christine were trying to build, but also tore another tear in the already shattered relationship between her and Mariah. The most tragic thing was that the more honest Tessa was, the more she resembled a betrayer. But if she wasn't honest, she would be betraying the very wounds she had suffered. Tessa entered the courtroom not with the cold demeanor of someone who had broken up, but with the bearing of someone still carrying many unburied feelings. She knew every word she spoke could be a knife turned back on Mariah, but she also understood that she couldn't continue living as if what had happened hadn't shattered her. Tessa's pain didn't erupt loudly. It lay in the weariness of someone who had tried to keep her family afloat while the other person was slipping further and further away. It lies in the feeling of being forced to watch the person you love gradually withdraw, become cold, and finally officially push you away as if all memories, all bonds, all shared experiences overcoming storms together no longer hold any value. Therefore, when Tessa recounts Mariah's unstable behavior, it's not just a legal statement. It's an admission that she saw her loved one sinking into something too dark, sensed the danger but couldn't pull her back, and ultimately had to helplessly watch everything fall apart. Tessa's honesty is therefore not simply an accusation. It's pain weighed on a scale, truth extracted from private corners and transformed into public evidence. This is what makes the atmosphere of the trial even more suffocating, because no one can view that testimony as a cold attack. Perhaps that's why this storyline, if developed as it is right now, wouldn't just be a shocking case. It carries the weight of a modern family tragedy, where the characters are not crushed by their enemies, but also by the consequences of wounds left unhealed. The courtroom is merely the surface. Beneath it lies a silent chain of breakdowns that have accumulated over a long period. An increasingly lost Mariah, an increasingly exhausted Tessa, an increasingly panicked Sharon, and a Christine who must use reason to navigate the storm of emotions. What I find haunting about this story is that it doesn't allow viewers to easily lean towards one side. One can be angry at Mariah, but still feel sorry for her. One can sympathize with Tessa, but still feel pain seeing her testimony become a devastating blow to those who were once family. One can expect Christine to turn things around, but still understand that no defense is clean enough to erase the darkness that has occurred. The more I think about it, the more I feel like this is the kind of story that people follow not just out of curiosity to see who wins and who loses, but to see if, amidst the ruins, these people still retain any humanity for each other.